1, 0. Hi, Jim Ziegler, the Alpha Dog. I've got another exciting show for you. I've got one of the most knowledgeable, one of the absolute most spectacular, one of the high-tech human beings in the entire industry. Now, I couldn't get him, but I did get Owen Moon. So in a minute, I'm going to be bringing on Owen Moon from Fixed Op Digital. But first, I got to do a little housekeeping. So bear with me out there. Okay, let's see what we have here. I'm not going to sing to everybody. I just want to start this thing up. Okay, here we go. Coming about. I'm going to make this broadcast public so everybody can see it. We are public. And ladies and gentlemen, my new friend, Owen Moon. Hello, Owen.
Hey, Jim. How you doing, sir?
Having the best day of my entire life. We're broadcasting live. We've already got several people lining up on the show here. Do you know anybody named Aaron Barfield?
I don't.
Well, he's your new.
How you doing, Aaron?
He just came on the live broadcast. Let's build up a little audience here. So, where are you today?
You know, I'm actually in my office in beautiful Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
I've been to Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
Yeah, it's a good city. I love raising family here, and this is my 20th year in Sioux Falls. So,
back in the day, I consulted Terry Schulte Chevrolet in that city.
Oh yeah, I can tell. It doesn't surprise me. He was a very aggressive car dealer in the market, so must have had good trainer.
We were doing 1,200 units a month at one point in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, Chevys.
Yep.
I mean,
yeah, good market, good truck market up here for sure.
I'll never forget. It was pretty cold when I was there. I mean,
7-8 months out of the year.
Really cold. And I went to an Indian casino.
Okay.
I mean, this wasn't like the ultra modern Las Vegas quality Indian casino. These guys had braids, and they were dealing blackjack in like a little house.
Nice. Yeah, we've got a few casinos on the reservations around here. So.
Yeah, it was interesting. Okay, well, we got Aaron Barfield here. We got a couple people, 11 viewers already. So, okay, first of all, Fixed Ops Digital. Tell me the essence of the company.
Yeah, so Fixed Ops Digital, we call ourselves an automotive service solutions company. The whole idea behind it is that we kind of looked at what was happening from a dealership perspective, mainly on the dealership's website, but just in the market in general, and realizing that a lot of dealerships were still using older tactics, right? Mailers, email marketing, and where they would just kind of come into the market, do a quick blast, make some impact, and then come out. And so, this is my 19th year working with dealerships, and a lot of my clients are asking me things like, hey, can we do something a little more from a digital standpoint, kind of like we do on the sales end, but make it more of a focus for us on service. So we got organized January 2018, and we strictly focus on service, parts, collision, tires, and anything that has to do, from the back end of the house and in the fixed ops department.
Well, tell me, what services do you offer? Now, that's what you work on. What services do you offer?
We do some work on the dealership's website when it comes to like SEO and SEM. So, very similar. I kind of always talk about how, as a dealership community, we become very good digital marketers, right? We have sort of a natural funnel where we're driving customers, through that SRP, VDP conversion. And we're using that same approach when it comes to service marketing. So instead of taking them to a search results page, we're using the service specials page as more of that hub where we can, get information out to customers and be transparent with pricing and what services that dealership offers. And there's a lot of value that, because if we can drive people into those pages, into that service specials page, from there, we can take them into more information with a service details page, and then all the way down into a conversion. And of course, conversions in service are much different than conversions in sales. So
We got Damien Boudreau. Do you know that man?
I met him briefly, yeah, in Vegas a few years ago.
Yeah, he's got that New York accent.
Yeah, yes, great car guy for sure. So.
I've known Damien now for just a couple of years. I've known of him for a long time. Hey, Jason Rice is aboard.
Love Jason. Jason's a good dude. Came actually to my office at a conference last month. He was in Denver, and we actually hung out at my office. Had a little networking event in the basement, and Jason joined us. So yeah, good car guy. Another good car guy.
I've sort of become a closet fan of Jason Rice. Just yeah. He told me I need to come out of the closet. That sort of offended me, but yeah, he's a good dude. Yeah, we got 15 viewers right now. So, by the way,
not bad for the last day of the month.
Question on the sidebar. I'm monitoring that while we talk.
Okay.
So, what I've noticed is a lot of people are paying attention to the sales end, the BDC, the lead providers. They're spending a lot of their budget driving people to the sales end of the business, and very few people do I see directing people to the service side of the business. What kind of reception are you getting there?
Yeah, I think that's sort of the case across the country. Whether you're working with an internal team or maybe with an agency, they're always, I guess you could say, their goal or what they're scorecarded on in a lot of cases with the dealership is how many sales can we drive through the front door. And I think there's a huge shift as customers have started to hang on to their cars longer, as maybe sales have softened a little bit. There's definitely been more focus, and we're sort of leading that charge on how can we make money on the back end of the dealership through the service, which in turns helps creates that glue that creates a long-term customer. So I think it's definitely something that's long overdue, and I think we're just finally starting to see the light in terms of service marketing and what we can do with it.
So when you're doing the SEO, the SEM for the service side, of course, the AdWords, everything is different. It's got to be a complete different world. One of my best search terms has always been check engine light.
Absolutely right.
Check engine light Milwaukee. Amazing. So give me a little more insight into what you do. What successes have you had?
Yeah, so when we put out more information online, right? So when a customer either comes through from a sales channel or maybe through an organic channel, and since we go onto the dealership's website and really build out a more robust service specials page, we're calling it a service menu page. It's no different than if you're sitting at a dealership and you see a brochure or a menu board, right? It's got the information available to the customer, because I've always said, just like anything, right? When you're in the service lane and those advisors start to recommend services, in a lot of cases, that's when the customer has their guard up. It's too late in a lot of cases. So we're trying to get that information out there early, and we're trying to do it in a way that lets the customer sort of have that control, and then it allows them to be able to make good decisions on their own ownership experience, really. And so we're seeing a lot of successes from just more and more people scheduling service. We've also got a piece of technology called Dealer Wallet that allows customers to put coupons into their phone using like Apple Wallet technology.
Okay, now that's what I want to hear. Okay, what value added services are you offering that they don't already have, that they can't get themselves?
Yeah, see, most websites, still have some of the older call to actions, right? I mean, I go to and I won't name any website providers, but it's your standard request more info, schedule service, maybe, but then email a friend. I mean, Jim, I know you need an oil change, so I'm going to email you a coupon tomorrow. So make sure that you know that this dealership's offering a special. No one's doing that. And then obviously the big call to action for service for a lot of years was print coupon, right? Most people printing coupons have sort of died. As much as 70% of all service traffic is now mobile. So what we've done is sort of change the print coupon into a save coupon. And by saving that coupon into their phone, it's that third conversion point that, a lot of times dealerships would lose. And so that is something that we're really focused on, because once we get into their Apple Wallet, then we can send them push notifications. We can geofence. We can, they come onto your dealership site location. We can give them a nice, welcome to the dealership message. So just a lot of marketing automation that can be done with it that you just don't get with print coupon anymore, and which no one is printing anyway. So it's just given us another touch point, another conversion point, if they're not ready to call you or schedule service, which ultimately is what we want, right? We want those two call to actions to really thrive. But the Apple Wallet technology is a third option for us, for sure.
Okay, let me ask you another question. You're sitting up there in South Dakota, the frozen tundra. Are you national?
Yeah, actually international. We have a few Canadian stores that have sort of latched on with us. It's amazing because even Canadian dealerships have actually different websites than in a lot of cases than what we're using down here. But yeah, we're all over the country. We're based out of Denver, and that's where our team is. That works hard every day for our stores. Obviously, I travel a lot, so I'm East Coast, West Coast, South. I was just in Dallas last week. We are looking at a couple of dealerships over in Australia as well, and so we're definitely going where the business is. I always say I like to travel because that's where the business is. So,
have you been to Australia?
I have not. That is definitely on my bucket list, though.
Oh, I was the keynote speaker for the National Australian Auto Dealers Convention in Brisbane.
Wow.
A few years back. What wonderful people, but what a trip.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, I can imagine it takes a long time to get over there. I know that. So
what I did was I flew from Atlanta to Los Angeles and broke the trip up and stayed overnight at the Marriott at the airport, and then flew on 18 additional hours. I mean,
yeah, that's a long haul for sure.
Until you've been in an airplane for 18 hours, it's like, my gosh, do I really want to do this again?
Yeah, you're worried about the plane ride back, right? You're dreading it.
Oh, incredible. Okay, we got Mike Kono Cerrone. Do you know him?
I don't.
Well, he certainly knows you. Kevin O'Brien, Michael Kirk, Dara Kenner.
Yeah, I know Dara. Dara is a past customer of ours at a different dealership, and saw some really good results with our program for sure. So
Bill Schomburg just came on.
I know Bill. Yeah, I know Bill. Yeah.
Well, that's great because you're getting some people that you haven't met before. And, let's see. Chris Kelly's aboard.
CK, what's up, buddy?
Kevin O'Brien. Now, Kevin and I, we go way back. I mean, when I was an F&I manager back in the day with my Wang computer and an abacus. So, yeah, different days. So, anyway, fixed operations is a high profitability end of the dealership's business today. Now, what kind of measurement do you give the dealer? What kind of metrics can you show the dealer that you've actually increased their business?
Yeah, no, great question. We at this point are not getting into any DMS or CRM, information. So a lot of when we hear from our clients is, how much they're up, right? How much their revenue's up since we've taken over, and different things like that. The things that we can look at though are the amount of website traffic we're driving. And it's a lot of it's organic traffic. It's, again, because it's service, you're not talking about thousands of dealers or customers, and visitors, but you're talking about, very targeted visitors. And so I think that's one thing that we really focus on is, how many additional visitors are we driving in from a service perspective. Then we can look at how many people are hitting like your service scheduler page, how many people are downloading coupons, and how many people are calling into the dealership. So so at this point, we've kind of stayed in our lane in terms of digital marketing. But down the road, we do have some ideas and some thoughts on how can we sort of connect the dots into an ROI conversation and that sort of thing with our stores. At this point, we're just really relying on them to give us that feedback, and it's all been pretty positive. I mean, we have a very small cancellation percentage of the stores that we've been working with, and we're right around 200 dealerships, give or take, and that's only in less than 15 months. So
now I'm sure you've got a website.
Oh yeah, www.fixedopsdigital.com.
Hey, listen, Dara or Jared on the sidebar, put that in there for me, please. www.fixedopsdigital.com. Would you put that on the sidebar in the comments, if somebody would, for me, please? www.fixedopsdigital.com. Hey, Brian Jelana Ballard. Now, I bet his name isn't Brian Jelana. I bet it's Brian and Jelana.
Probably.
Yeah. Okay. Brian says, awesome show. Glad to hear from us. We're getting quite a few active viewers on this thing. You're popular.
I guess, yeah. No, I think it's you. No, I do. I appreciate the support, everyone that's out there.
Okay, Derek Kenner just put it on the sidebar, www.fixedopsdigital.com. So did Chris Kelly. Very good.
Cool.
We got your URL on the sidebar there. Let me just go ahead and bring that on the screen as well, so everybody can see what we're doing here. Okay, hang on, never mind. Let's hide that and do it again. Okay. The dog is a little low tech today, so let's see if this.
That looks good. Yep. Thank you.
Fantastic. We'll leave it up there for a while. And now, if they wanted to talk to you on the telephone, how could they do that?
Yeah, I would say I'm just a call away. 605-376-0195. Spend a lot of hours every day and week on the phone, consulting with dealerships, working with dealerships, and really just showing dealerships what we're doing. And some OEMs. And we've got some really interesting conversations with some OEMs the last 6 months. So maybe down the road we'll have some great partnerships that we'll be able to announce. We're pretty excited about that. So
now, is that your cell phone? They can text you?
Yep. Text, call, definitely.
Fantastic. What questions, if you were interviewing you, what questions would you want you to ask you?
Well, I think we talk to a lot of fixed ops directors, and then we also are working with a lot of digital marketing directors, right? And I think the digital marketing directors have really embraced what we're doing because it is very similar in strategy that you would see at a sales level. Where we kind of run into some of the conversation with our fixed ops directors is they're like, hey, we're so busy right now. I can't take any more business. And I think what's been really addressed to them a lot of times is that everybody wants to throw out discounts, right? We live in a Groupon world. We live on the Macy's clearance rack, and so nobody wants to discount their services, and everyone tells me they don't need another oil change. And what I try to explain to them is that that's not our program. I mean, we live by the saying that specials don't have to be special at all. We'd rather have dealerships showing what services they offer with pricing, with retail pricing, than leaving it blank. And I think you know enough about the dealership website side that you go to a website that's got specials on it for service and they're blank, or they have one or two kind of outdated services, maybe even expired services. And I think that's really where we're changing the game in terms of how we can win over fixed ops directors, is that it isn't about another oil change. It's about, can we get some of those late model services done? Because that's when a lot of dealerships are losing the customer to the Jiffy Lubes and the Pep Boys, is once the warranty's up, once that it's convenient for them to come in, and maybe it's included as part of their package. I know Toyota uses a prepaid maintenance program. Once that's over, there's been a real narrative that's kind of a false narrative that the independents are cheaper. So if I'm a fixed ops director, I guess what I would say is, what are you guys going to do for me to help me keep those customers after the warranty's up, and how can you help me make more money? Because obviously that's how they're getting paid, is on money, on revenue. And if we can get higher ROs, more customer pay ROs, and that's kind of the focus. I think that the dealership will see the value, and the fixed ops director will see the value in what we're doing on a long-term basis. So,
well, that makes sense, because what I'm seeing in dealerships today is the service department is not upselling enough. The service writers are pretty well writing service, but they're not upselling to the consumer more than the consumer came in asking for.
Yeah, they're almost in some cases scared to. And I think that if you can get some of the education out there in front of them, it'll give them more confidence to be able to talk about the different services that they might want to, have to show the customer. And I think also, like, one of the things we've started to do is really focus on recommendations. Like, hey, you need to get this transmission flush done every so many months. Again, that's a customer's, that's a way for a customer to really get to know their own vehicle and what needs to happen. And so I think by the time you go in there to talk to a service advisor, they're already a lot more educated at that point. And I think we definitely have lacked that as a dealership community, and we're really focused on changing that. So that's one of the things that we really, work day in and day out to help our stores.
3 people on the sidebar just said not upselling is a huge problem.
Yeah, well, it's definitely a huge problem.
I came out of the sales side of the business. I never was a general manager. The highest I ever reached was general sales manager of a platform.
Okay.
And the reason I was a general sales manager and I never became a general manager is I really didn't care to learn the service side of the business.
Yeah, a lot of the GMs don't even sell cars these days. They come from the service side.
See, I came from the sales side, and I consider myself a variable operations expert, but by the same token, I don't know what goes on the other side of the wall, and I wasn't really interested in that. That's why I personally never became a general manager. And even though I ran dealerships from the front end, I really did not know that end of the business. And because of that, I think people are concentrating on the sales end of the business. And as far as the marketing of the dealership, not the performance, but the marketing end of the dealership, service is not being marketed.
Definitely a hole there for sure.
So how do you bring up that level of awareness? Because a lot of fixed operations people don't know where the on switch is on the computer, to be real honest with you.
Yeah, no, it's great points. And one of the things that I've noticed recently, and it's been happening now for the last couple of years, is it's getting more expensive to advertise from a variable standpoint, and we call it the front of the house. And so you always have that return where it sort of levels off, and it's you have it just, the result won't be there the more money you spend. And so what we've really been focusing on with guys is, hey, why don't you take some of the money that is costing you so much on the front end, and let's move some of it to the back of the house or the side door into the service department, where not only you can make some money today on them, but also build that relationship. Because the stat I heard lately was about 85% of people, so pretty much everybody, has said that their experience inside the service lane has a direct impact on whether or not they're going to buy another car from that dealership.
Not just that, but one thing, my experience, I have been in thousands of dealerships. Sure. I have personally interacted with hundreds of thousands of car people. I have caught ups in every state except Alaska.
Okay.
I have caught ups and worked deals and worked with customers in 49 states. I've done F&I in 49 states. So when I speak, it's generally experiential, things I have seen, not things I read in a book or some factory person tried to teach me.
Yeah.
And what I'm seeing in the dealerships today is Brian Jaden Singh just said it. There's a lack of focus on fixed operations from the dealer general manager. 50% of customers in most of the dealerships that I have observed did not buy the car from the dealership where they service.
Yeah, that's a huge number.
They bought, most of the people in your service department bought their cars elsewhere. Because one thing, Owen, people shop everywhere for a car, but they generally service in their own neighborhood or where they work. They don't go far to service. But they could have bought the car in another state. They could have bought the car anywhere. I don't need you to own a Jeep Cherokee. So
yeah.
But they're going to service in their own neighborhood. So service, as you point out, is not only customer retention and customer repeat business, and it's a whole conquest of bringing that customer back to the dealership. Let's see. Jake Davis on the sidebar, Kevin Colma, Jared Kilway. Jared Kilway's all over the sidebar here. Kevin Colma.
Yeah, Jared's a client. Kevin's actually one of my partners. He's our chief operating officer, so he's tuning in.
Oh, give us a shout. We'd love to talk, he says. Okay.
Jake Davis. Jake Davis is a good client of ours as well. So definitely glad they popped in.
Who is?
Jake Davis from North Georgia Toyota.
Okay. Well, Jake Davis says feedback's louder. Okay, but anytime people have negative experience, he's a cheerleader. I mean, he's a raving fan with his hair on fire. Yeah, so you got a pretty good following here on the sidelines, big guy.
I love it. Thank you very much.
I wonder if Damian Boudreaux's still out there. Yeah, Jason Rice. I wonder if they're still with us. We got about 30 people on right now, so that's pretty good for a live broadcast. Now, one thing you're going to find out is thousands of people are going to watch the rebroadcast.
Yeah.
We only generally get 30, 40 people on the live broadcast, but on the replays, it numbers into the thousands, and you'll be hearing from a lot of people. Now, tell me some more. I mean, what would I want to know about Fixed Ops Digital if I were a prospective client? What would I ask you? What are your biggest objections that you have to overcome? What do people ask you? Why are people not signing up with you that you think they should? Talk to me.
Yeah. Well, yeah, great questions. I think that one thing that kind of sets us apart is that we are focused on business goals. It's always kind of been my focus. 19 years, spent a lot of time in the variable side. Had an agency at one point that was handling dealerships all over the place, where we handled all their marketing, and this was a little bit pre-internet, so I'm dating myself a little bit, but that's always been the challenge and the goal for us is what can we do to help your business? And so when we talk to dealerships, it's not a cookie cutter, hey, let's just turn it on. It's not a piece of software that you can just flip on and forget about and move on with your day. We really are working towards helping that dealership with the goals that they set out in front of us. And some of that could be the OEM goals that they have, that they want to try to reach. Some of it could just be internal goals that as a company, they're looking at going, hey, we want to accomplish these 3 or 4 things. How can we get that done? And that's where we're here to help. So, and that's the nice thing about with our content. So we drive a lot of content into the website and build out content for specific services like batteries and oil change and stuff like that. It really is designed to let Google index and find it and allow us to drive people into the market that are looking for those services. And so we really don't, again, we don't just cookie cutter the content. It's not duplicate. There's no code injection, which I think in a lot of cases, companies are using, and it's giving them zero SEO value. And it just gives us a better overall strategy when it comes to being a partner. and that's really what we're focused on.
Oh, we got a great question on the sidebar. You ready?
Yes.
Kristen Turnbach.
Okay.
Kristen Turnbach says, do you have any RV dealership clients? Can you handle RV dealership clients?
We don't believe have any RV clients as well. I'd have to check with the team to see, if that's something that we would feel confident in working with. We have worked with some heavy truck departments. For example, we've got a Ford store out east that they have a huge truck center where they do a lot of RV work. They do a lot of stuff with ambulances, your commercial vehicles, and so I know we're doing some good content for that and driving more awareness and visibility, and that side of things. So my short answer would be, yeah, I think we definitely could do that.
Let me tell you something. I've been doing business with RV dealers for years. There is virtually no difference. Higher ticket item.
Yeah.
And frankly, now Kristen Turnbach, no insult, most RV dealers are where the car business was 15 years ago. They really need the help.
For sure.
And I'm telling you, it is a much easier market. And RV service it's kind of cool because these people are away from home. They're driving in their home, many of them. And finding you. So leading it off of that, Rod Zaratsky asked about geofencing.
Yeah. So I think he probably maybe mentioned, because I mentioned it earlier with the dealer wallet product. When a customer downloads the pass from one of our websites or from the website that we're working with into their Apple Wallet, the Apple Wallet technology of the app allows us to do two things: send push notifications and then geofence competitors. So you could, potentially geofence the tire center down the road that's maybe taking all your tire business, or maybe that customer that is, again, coming out of warranty, is looking to maybe save money by going to a Jiffy Lube. Maybe we could geofence them and say, hey, remember, this is why you should come back to the dealership. And we know that it's all about the parts, OEM parts, trained technicians, the equipment, that type of thing. And so we're really focusing all of the package. We call it our drive service solution. And the reason why is that we want it to be kind of turnkey. We don't want the dealership to have to work too hard to do business with us. But we obviously take their input and want to work with them to meet their goals. But this isn't one of those situations where it kind of creates some marketing automation. You don't have to touch it. If someone downloads a pass, and we're all about pass accumulation. We want 300 people to download the oil pass, the oil change pass, because then we can talk to them through marketing automation, and we don't put a lot of work into effort into it as a dealership. Good question.
It's amazing. I ran a promotion in, oh golly, let me think of the name of the city. It was in Arkansas. My gosh. And I ran an ad in a dealer's this newspaper, and it said, no tricks, no gimmicks, no come-ons, free oil change and 32-point mechanical inspection of your vehicle. No free oil change and filter up to 5 quarts, and a 32-point mechanical inspection of your vehicle. No pressure, no gimmicks, no come-ons, absolutely free. We lined people up around the block, and we sold an average of 2 hours additional service on every ticket.
On top of it, yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, it was just one of the most successful promotions I ever talked a dealer into running. The headline was just absolutely free.
That's awesome. Well, the multi-point inspection, a lot of the trainers, a lot of the good, internal advisors and things like that are working at the dealership level internally, they everything they do is based around that multi-point inspection. I think it's a huge opportunity for dealers if they use it right, and to get that additional service like you're talking about.
And on the sidebar, just about everybody agreed that upselling service is one of the biggest challenges in the service department. that our service writers, I put spiffs with service writers for selling windshield wiper blades.
Nice.
I mean, okay, we will give you $5 for every set of windshield wiper blades you sell today. And not that we want windshield wiper blades sold. It's just a matter to prove to them that it can be done.
Absolutely, I get it.
You
For sure. Yeah. Sometimes seeing is believing, right?
I'm talking to Owen Moon. No, he's not a Korean dictator. This is Owen Moon. Owen Moon from Fixed Ops Digital. And we're talking about fixed operations, SEO, SEM, all the services that his company offers. Now, if you're looking right now, you can see Owen's phone number on the screen. That's www.fixedopsdigital.com. And you really need to check out his website. His company is nationwide. They're actually headquartered in Denver. He's sitting up. Is it snowing up there, by the way?
No, we've got a pretty good spring day today, actually.
Really? I was the keynote speaker for the North-South Dakota Dealers Convention here a couple of years back.
Oh wow! Yeah, they've every June probably. I think every summer. Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of small.
The South Dakota's not the biggest state. We got it.
They were combined, but they combined it with the North and South Dakota dealers.
Okay.
Yeah, it was kind of interesting. Like I said, I've done some work up there. Kind of interesting. Okay, I think we have covered quite a bit and had quite a bit more audience than I thought we would. You really drew a good crowd today.
Well, good. Thanks. I appreciate the opportunity, Jim. Like I mentioned, I was excited for when you reached out to me. I was definitely excited for this. So,
well, I really have wanted to get you on the show because everybody I've had on the show in the past has been sales operated, sales oriented, and I wanted to get something in the fixed operations. I'm about to do used cars. I'm probably going to get Jason Rice on here pretty soon. I think he'd be a welcome addition. Well, listen, before we get off this broadcast, we've been on 45 minutes. Is there anything that you would like to tell people about Fixed Ops Digital that we have not covered?
Yeah, just to kind of close it up, I guess I would say that, now is definitely the time to really put some focus into that side of the business. And, I always tell dealerships that, hey, if you're working with an agency, let them continue to focus on what they do best for you, and that's help you sell cars. Let somebody like Fixed Ops Digital, like my firm, like our company, really, put that focus into the service side of the business that not only that it deserves, but obviously has been neglected for a lot of years. And I think it's good time. And I think once you see what we're doing, maybe do a quick demo or give us a shout and let us tell you a little bit about what we are bringing to the table when it comes to the service side. You're going to be definitely excited, and I think it'll rejuvenate maybe even some of that side of the business that if it's gone stale, and in some cases that I've seen that. So
I would hope a lot of dealer principals, general managers, service directors give you a call. I've got your number on the screen right now, and www.fixedopsdigital.com. I hope you hear from these people because I think you've got a lot to offer. I've heard nothing but good things about your company. That's why I asked you to come on.
Awesome. Well, thank you.
Your reputation is really good in the marketplace. I want to tell you that because I probably talk to 100 people in a given day. And
I work hard to treat people right and, be honest and just, we talked about this a little bit, in lieu of some of the things that have happened the last couple of days. And it's just, you want to, be that company that that's looking out for the best interest of the store. And I think if you get to know my ownership team and everybody that has working with us, that's what we're all about. So we're definitely excited for to keep growing our company and to keep helping dealerships on a service marketing side of the business. So
okay, everybody share this broadcast. Hit the share button and share this broadcast all over the social media sphere. Put it out there. Owen, it's been a pleasure having you. I'm about to end the broadcast. Wave at the people.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. See you guys. Have a good month end.